Hello, welcome to the September challenge. This month is a technique challenge, the ribbon pour. The ribbon pour is very technique based. It's not going to be looks based in terms of there being a specific look that you're trying to reproduce. It's the actual technique that we want to have people try. A ribbon pour is based on how you load the bowl and pour. I'm just going to use this bowl as an example. So the basic premise is that you will make your soap in different colors. You pour them into your container so that they line up in line with the spout. You really should have a container with some sort of spout for this. You will line the colors up in line with the spout, parallel to it, and then when you pour out, the batter will come out in stripes. And then you can get all sorts of different looks based on how you pour and the trace and the speed, the pattern. So there could be a huge variety of looks out of this, which is why I said that we're looking for the technique, not for a specific look in the soap. We will require face-up pictures of your soap. So no, you could certainly pour it into a loaf, but the soap itself has to be a slab type cut so that we're looking at the face of the bar. So there are lots of looks that you can achieve. I'm going to see if I can get my light here with this kind of pour. I'm hoping, is it going to? So all of these soaps were made with the same technique. These are all made with a ribbon pour. Everything that's different about them is based on the size of the batter stream, the colors, the way that the colors are lined up in the bowl, the rate of the pour. Oh, I was going to go back to this one. This is one, the bottom of that one I did in a kind of an S shape. This one I did in 4 different layers, so I split my batter into 4 separate portions and poured 4 different layers, which you can do to get kind of a more even look throughout your bar. This one is a little more backlit than I would like. Let's see if I can, there we go. This one has mica, or actually it's activated charcoal and oil in that one to give some of the finer black details. This one has the same. I don't like this one very much. And then this one I did a ribbon pour poured into a background of black. And it does go through the entire soap, but that's the face-up version. This is what happens when one of your colors decides to get a little thick on you and the other ones do not. I just can't tell where that's focusing. Looks different. I actually kind of liked it. It looked kind of rocky, so I actually sent that out for the swap. But that's not your standard ribbon pour look. So for this challenge, you have to use at least 2 colors. There has to be some contrast, obviously. Uncolored batter is fine for 1. I personally love using lots of colors, but I've found that I think the sweet spot for this type of technique is somewhere between 2 and 4 colors. That just seems to be where I've been getting the most consistent look that, I don't know, just seems most appealing to the eye. These are some of the containers that you can use to put your batter in and pour from. I've used all of these and they all work fine. They'll be a little bit different based on the size of the lip, but they all work just fine. This one, I should say first that I think a tall, thinner container works the best. If you had a very broad container with a spout, you would end up with many lines of colors that would all be trying to come out the spout as you pour, which could result in too much mixing or not getting defined enough stripes. So I have found something tall and thin where your batter will kind of stack seems to work the best. This is one obvious spout on that one. This will give you the most directed pour. You'll be able to pour the most precisely from this kind of pitcher, which I know a number of people have, just because of the length of the spout. And then this will direct it down to a very narrow stream. That's neither good nor bad. It just is. And you can try a couple different different containers if you'd like. So this is one I've used a bowl with this very much wider spout. That's worked well. Pitcher with wide spout, so that's been a little broader for the soap that I use small batches. I've used this to good success with that skinny spout. This is borosilicate glass, just so nobody gets on my tail about it. So this can handle soap batter, even though it's glass. I've also used this. This, you can see it kind of has a spout, but it's not the most, it's not the most erected spout. So you tend to get a broader stream of soap over this one pouring into the mold. Again, that's neither good nor bad, it simply is. So it'll be a little more difficult for you to direct, but that could result in a soap that you love the looks of, so FYI. If you have a plastic measuring cup like this, this would be fabulous with the handle. Makes it much more easy, makes it much easier to control and lift and point where you want it. However, I have had Pyrex explode on me, so I cannot endorse using any sort of Pyrex cup for your batter at any time. I know there are some people who've mentioned being a little intimidated by new techniques or using lots of colors. This one actually doesn't require lots of colors. You could just use 2. If you're a little uncertain and you are making soap otherwise, you could increase your batch by a total of maybe 4 or 5 ounces. And separate that 4 or 5 ounces out. Use 2 colors. Load a Dixie cup up just like you would for the full amount, and then just make your own spout and pour it either into an individual mold, the bottom of a Pringles can, a Tupperware like the single serving Tupperware. You could use the bottom of a container like this that you sawed off to pour into for a nice rectangular soap. You could use this just for the top of a soap, just to get the feel for it, but this would work just fine for you to do a test run and pour an individual soap, or even if you just poured it out on a piece of parchment to see what would happen as you pour, that would make a good test run. I have used every mold that I have to make these soaps. I've used the green 2 point, I think they're 2.2 or whatever the poundage is on there, the green loaf molds, and poured in the bottom as a slab. I've used my slab mold, of course. I've also these, oh, there's another one. I think this one was made as well. Oops, sorry, you don't need to see my cupboards. But these were made actually in a tall and skinny mold, and I just poured into the bottom of it as a slab mold. I made a small batch, and this one actually had a double layer. I didn't like the middle of it very much, but this one was poured as a double layer soap, and then it was cut horizontally so that it would be face-up bars. So if you have a tall skinny mold, you can use it. Your soap will simply drop down further into the bottom, or you can pour down the wall to slow its descent so it lays out in the mold a little bit better. What else have I used? I've used individuals. I've used these kind of containers. I've used pretty much anything you can think of, and it'll work. So use what you've got. Give it a go. Try different patterns to get different looks. And I've just, so you know, I've separated the videos for this into different parts so that you can just go to wherever you want to watch that particular piece. So onward and upward. I hope you'll join.